Good morning, everyone. My name is Sharon Cackett. I'm the Assistant Director of the New York State Caregiving and Respite Coalition, and we offer webinars that address the needs of family caregivers in New York State with a lot of different topics. And today we are pleased to have Claire Solomon Neeson with us today to talk about life after caregiving and one of the fantastic programs that she works with. Claire's the manager of programs let's see, let me start that again. Lasting Impression Programs at DeRote, where they seek to focus effective programs and solutions to reach those who are at the higher risk of social isolation and for whom social connections may be more challenging to build. Claire earned a master's in social work and a master's in public health from Columbia University and a bachelor's degree in American Studies from Skidmore College. Today, Claire will focus on DeRote's Aging Alone Together, DeRote's flagship program for solo agers, designed for those who are seeking tools, strategies, and support to age more intentionally and plan for the future. It's all yours, Claire.
Great. I'm going to take this opportunity to share my screen. Then I'll say thank you and all of those things, but I'm going to share my screen. And I'm going to make sure I'm sharing it all the right way. Here we go. So just give me one sec. Oh, don't learn about me too much yet. Okay. Okay, Sharon, just let me know in 1 second if you can see good stuff.
Okay.
It looks good?
I see your toolbar in front where you clicked on Show Presenter View.
Okay, let me try again then, maybe. Don't worry, everybody.
No
It's going
worries.
to be great. Hold on. 1 sec. And we did practice. So hold on a sec. Oops. It's always fun when you're already on the recording and then you're just practicing a little more.
Which is the beauty of being able to edit the recordings.
Okay. Give me a sec, everybody. Here is this. I'm sharing this. Okay, so you should be able to see this. Okay, did it work now? No.
Well, I don't see your slideshow. I see.
You see all my notes? Thank you, etc.
I see a black box up on the top.
Sorry, guys. We did practice before this.
I know.
Okay, I guess I'll try again.
If worst comes to worst, we can always use mine.
Okay, I'm going to try one more time, and we're going to be fine. But we did practice right before this. In the interim, while we're making sure this works, is anyone celebrating anything at this moment, or does anyone feel compelled to share anything of note while you are in this particular space? But I'm gonna try this one more time. Is it your birthday, for example?
No, but I know somebody has a birthday next week.
Oh.
On Thanksgiving.
Oh, my daughter.
Yeah.
She's gonna be 5. But if anybody else has anything they'd like to share in the chat, I welcome it while we just get through this hiccup, which wasn't a hiccup before we started. So let's try one more time. Okay. I'm going to share my screen one more time. Okay. Share. Okay, so you should see my screen. You should see from the beginning the PowerPoint. I'm going to try to do this, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Why does it say screen sharing is paused? Okay. All right. I am going to unshare my screen and try to share it again just in a...
Do you want me to try sharing mine,
yes.
Claire?
Why not? That would be great if you can.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know.
Let's see if this works or not. Thank you all for your patience.
Okay.
And then you just let me know when you want to advance.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Thank you. Sorry, this really did work before. Everybody, thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to telling you a little bit about DeRote. I have a feeling you are not as familiar with DeRote, and to sharing our experience with you and our engagement with solo agers, but also learning more about you. And I want to thank Sharon and Doris as well for inviting me. Next slide, please. Great. So DeRote is headquartered on the Upper West Side of Manhattan and in Westchester in White Plains, and was founded in 1976 by a group of social work graduate students who had befriended and built relationships with their older adult neighbors who were socially isolated. DeRote is the Hebrew word for generations, and intergenerational connection continues to be a cornerstone of our work. And while we incorporate Jewish tradition and values into our work, our staff and the community that we serve and our volunteers represent all religious and cultural backgrounds. And the base for all of our programs and services is really to promote social connection and friendship and community. Our opportunities for socialization, just to give you a broader picture, take place in the homes of older adults, on site at our office, on the phone, and online. And we also offer all kinds of opportunities for volunteerism. And all of our programs are offered without cost. They're free to the older adults we support, thanks to generosity of individual donors and funding partners. And I'm happy to share our website and more information in the Zoom chat. If there's anything else that you want to learn more about, feel free to be in touch. Next slide, please. So today we are here to talk about solo aging, and you can click the space bar. Did you know that there are 22.1 approximately million, that's approximately 22.1 million solo agers in the US, or 28% of older adults. So close to 30% identify as not having children or other family support. And as you might imagine, that number is growing and increasing. And there are many reasons for this, of course, including declining birth rates, increasing divorce rates, and an increasing number of people living alone. The 2019 census found that 26% of baby boomers were widowed or divorced or separated, and another 9% had never married. Solo agers, and you may identify as a solo ager, you who I am looking forward to speaking more with after I finish speaking. Solo agers face unique challenges, from home and healthcare and end-of-life planning, to a scarcity of caregivers, to a shifting family diaspora. And I'm going to talk with you today about our Aging Alone Together program, which is DeRote's flagship program for solo agers, and share a little bit about what we've learned from the 1,500 plus. I think the number is bigger today, actually. We just finished a cohort who have taken part in our curriculum over the last 4 years. Next slide, please. So you might be sitting like, well, who is a solo ager? That's what you might be thinking about. Am I one? And our definition of solo aging at DeRote is broad. We define solo agers as those who by choice or circumstance expect to age or make decisions about their future independently. So many of our constituents live alone. We also work with solo agers who are partnered, or older or younger than their spouse, or who are estranged from family members, and with those who, for any reason of choice or circumstance, begin to think of themselves as solo agers. I want, of course, because I am here with you, to acknowledge your role as caregivers. I imagine that your sense of self and identity continues to evolve as your role as a caregiver evolves. We ensure that we meet people where they are and affirm that our constituents, so you, are the experts of their own experiences. And I can't speak on behalf of our constituents. They speak for themselves. And their lives and stories really fuel all of the work that we do. So if there's time at the end of my time with you, and I think there will be, I'll share a short video called Who is a Solo Ager that opens up our program. We serve older adults from across the country who enter our work across the spectrum of racial and socioeconomic diversity, and solo aging requires planning as diverse as that group itself. Next slide, please. Our program, Aging Alone Together, is a 6-week program designed to provide older adults, so 60 plus, with tools, strategies, and support to age intentionally and to plan for the future. Each session of the 6 offers a topic-specific presentation on critical decision-making, exploring resources, and opportunities for small group discussion. And participants also have opportunities to build and deepen relationships with other solo agers and to create a real sense of community. We ran our first iteration of Aging Alone Together, next slide please, in June 2021, and we had more than 80 people attending each week. That is really a lot of people. Oh, I'm going to let someone into the waiting room there. There we go. We're going to tag team. So there were a lot of people, and it quickly became clear that there was a large need for intentional programming with solo agers and a lot of work to be done, both in our community and outside of it. We've since offered this curriculum almost 40 times, again, to almost 2,000 people at this point, with a variety of partner organizations. We've worked intentionally with LGBTQ plus identified older adults, with faith-based organizations, with other community-based groups and agencies, and we've seen folks from across the country. So since the program's inception, we have a growing wait list of organizations and individuals who are interested in this type of work, which is exciting for us. To delve a little bit more deeply, next slide please, into what we cover. Aging Alone Together is at its core the first layer of bricks to building a strong and empowering foundation for solo aging. In my head, that really is a house when I say that sentence. In the first week, we introduce the concepts of and key themes related to solo aging, which sets the stage for participants to think critically about their own individual experiences. In subsequent weeks, we dive into more specific considerations, including building and maintaining community, what goes into aging in place or making a move, advanced care planning and end-of-life decision-making, exploring financial and legal matters, and finally taking next steps to continue building a successful solo aging plan and to continue our learning, and we'll talk more about that soon. We have learning goals incorporated throughout the curriculum, and we measure them through a pre- and post-survey process, and we also have polling questions integrated throughout the series. And we really have invite participants to set their own goals and acknowledge that everyone begins from a different place, as I said a moment ago. We share unique considerations for solo agers, and we also learn with and from experts in the field. Some things we don't do are we don't offer professional advice, whether it be medical, legal, or financial. And while participants do create a supportive environment, we're also clear that the program isn't meant to replace the therapeutic services that a traditional support group or group therapy can offer. It's really designed to be an educational offering to offer and enable participants to think more systematically about the future and also to guide us to additional resources. I want to tell you a little bit more about what it looks like. So next slide, please. During the first part of each program, the facilitator moves through the program content and leads group engagement opportunities. There are some brief videos. I told you about one that maybe we'll have a chance to watch that features solo agers and aging services professionals. In the next part of the session, we break into small groups, typically of about 6 to 8, to deepen connection and community. And we have conversations that are typically guided by 3 predetermined reflective questions. We find that this is a great opportunity to get to know people and to really share of ourselves in a way that invites an individual experience and also a collective experience. Virtually, on the computer, the program runs for an hour and a half each week for 6 weeks, and it runs for 2 hours in person just to account for like moving around. And Aging Alone Together has a facilitator, has a coordinator, and has discussion leaders who are trained to facilitate those small groups. And we make sure that everybody is really set up for success at the beginning and at the end of the program, and to ensure that anyone who needs any additional follow-up feels supported. Next slide, please. We also offer a resource guide, a national resource guide that participants utilize throughout the program and beyond. And it's organized by weekly topic and includes resources ranging from nonprofits to government agencies on a national scale. And again, it serves as a good starting point when we work with partners. So if we were to work together as an example, we aim to develop supplemental resources that are localized or specific to the community that we're partnering with. We don't refer to individual practitioners or businesses, just as a best practice. And finally, participants utilize a program workbook, which includes some of the program content, individualized action planning tools, reflective questions, and more, and that's also built into the program delivery. So I wanted to share a little bit more to leave you with some other things that are tangible about what is done during our program, but also about what we've learned from this work. So next slide, please. We have some mantras. You can just click them all at the same time, that's okay. We have 3 mantras, which are directly related to what we've learned about solo agers since our program's inception. And I'll share a little bit about that with you. They help me throughout the day, too. So the first is, solo aging doesn't mean aging alone. So we've heard repeatedly from people who have attended Aging Alone Together, I'm glad to know I'm not alone. And they've expressed taking comfort in knowing that there are others who don't have obvious people to help them as they age. And this program gives them an opportunity to be in community. The second is choose to start now. There's no magic time to begin planning for aging solo. Now is the best time. And right now you are all here, so now is also a time that we are learning together. And the last is take small steps. So some of what we cover in the program and the goals the participants may set out for themselves may feel monumental. So this is where we encourage and remind people to break down larger goals into small, manageable, and actionable steps. So take small steps. Next slide, please. I wanted to share a little bit about what we've learned. The first, and this might especially resonate with you perhaps, is that solo agers are not a monolith, right? They represent a diversity of experiences seen in our general population, including geographic and socioeconomic and financial aspects, and they do share some unique concerns. Next slide, please. One of our main takeaways is that perceptions about other people who self-identify as solo agers didn't necessarily match with the ways in which solo agers described their own lived experiences. So for those of you who may be a solo ager or worked with solo agers or think about this, I wonder if you have experienced solo ageism. We think this looks like and means that solo agers aren't always lonely or alone. They often choose to age alone. And those who find themselves as solo agers by circumstance and not by choice still are and want to feel and be empowered for themselves and for others. There's often a type of tragedy narrative inherent in how others view solo aging, and our aim is to dispel that narrative. So we've built our definition of solo aging into the curriculum and created, again, some short videos that we think address this idea of solo ageism and really emphasize and promote social connection, which is consistent with DeRote's mission as we think about this. The third thing we've learned, which is on the next slide, is that this is overwhelmingly the question that our participants ask, right? Is who will take care of me? I anticipate you as a collective may think about this more than our average constituent. So who will take care of me? Who will be my person? Our programming aims to create creative opportunities to connect with individuals who may already be part of our circles of support, who we might not think of as in our circles of support, and to encourage and empower participants to explore community engagement in ways that might be unfamiliar to them. We invite open and reflective sharing and foster opportunities for relationship building. And this has led to everything from being invited to a holiday dinner to becoming someone's healthcare proxy. And you're already connected to this organization, to this wonderful place. And we also work to deepen community with our affiliated partners. Next slide, please. We found that another common question that participants ask is, where do I start? Or how do I know where to start? Where is it? And as I've mentioned, we've created a national resource guide that participants utilize throughout the program and beyond. And we've been able to connect people to resources, again, regardless of their point of entry, wherever they might be in the process. We also meet people, some who come to us, for example, with all of their advanced directives in place and filled out, and others with nothing, but all are thinking about, where do I start? And this feels, again, particularly prescient if you don't have a specific person in mind who will be your care partner, and particularly important for those who are acting as a care partner to a loved one. It's like you might be or might have been. Finally, and this is the next slide, many of our solo agers have recently retired, leaving a large source of community behind, or have recently made a move, or are thinking about moving to a place that might be more age-friendly. And solo agers, more than those who identify as having systems of support, are seeking community and are perhaps more poised to become more involved in the communities that they join. I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge a larger systemic gap that exists. Many live without access to transportation. I'm not sure where you're all coming from, but I know this to be true, and or don't have working internet or additional infrastructure. And this increases, of course, social isolation and loneliness. And again, I want to acknowledge the community at your fingertips, the New York State Caregiving and Respite Coalition. I just have a handful of additional slides. So the next one says that a final part of our programmatic model is really work that involves us listening to our constituents and iterating. So since the program's inception, we have modified or adjusted Aging Alone Together based on what we've seen and heard and added to it. We have a monthly alumni group that meets virtually for all Aging Alone Together alums because we heard that participants wanted and needed more than the 6-week program. We see anywhere from 30 to 60 participants from across the country. We share successes and challenges and ask questions and continue to cultivate community. Each cohort also receives its own contact list where participants can choose to share their contact information. Oh yeah, you can just enter, so there are no surprises. And they can choose to share their contact information with fellow cohort members. It's another great and organic way for participants to stay in touch after the program. We also offer folks the opportunity to complete an accountability partner form. So those with shared interests or goals like taking a walk or thinking about making a move can connect and build community and support each other. We also heard that people wanted more community education and a deeper dive into some of the content. So we provide continued opportunities for learning and enrichment and invite anyone to join our Aging Well programs. These programs are virtual and free of charge and typically follow similar themes to Aging Alone Together, but are more focused. So anything from low-cost ways to modify your bathroom, to be more age-friendly, to funeral pre-planning, to our decluttering workshop, which is quite popular, and it's helpful to those who are thinking about aging at home or preparing to make a move. We also are creating a core of older adult volunteer discussion group leaders and facilitators. We found this to be an important opportunity for championing and empowering folks who want to give more of themselves. I think I have 2 more slides, which means I have time for my video. But here in the next one are ways to find us and to learn more. You'll see we have an upcoming Aging Alone Together specific to New York State residents in May. I'm happy to send more targeted information about that if that's of interest to you. And you can find me and my team, not just me, via email at agingalonetogether@DeRoteUSA.org, and there's a link to our website and more. So I do want to show you this 2-minute video, which I anticipate will work, which gives you a little bit of a taste of our curriculum and our participants, and really the best way for me to showcase who solo agers are is by sharing this video, and which acknowledges that there are really no set characteristics as to who a solo ager is. Everyone comes to the table with their own life circumstance and experience, but the unifying factor is that we are intentionally coming together in this program, Aging Alone Together. So let's see if this video works. And thank you, Sharon, for sharing your screen for me.
Just give me a thumbs up if you can hear it.
Okay. Yep, it's good.
My apologies.
I am a solo ager, and what that means to me is that I literally live alone and basically have a solo life.
I don't have children, and my family is out of state. They're in Virginia.
I'm in the situation that I have to really look out for myself a lot and try to find and engage other people to be on my team.
There's really no one demographic that describes what a solo ager is. It could be people who don't have children, but not necessarily. It could be people who don't have a life partner that they're living with.
Or vice versa, you could be socially alone. Even though you are married, You could be not having anyone to talk with or confide to or trust.
Earlier, my definition was more limited, and I've come to learn that it's much broader. Some people are not yet in the official solo aging stage, but they're thinking ahead and they're anticipating, demographically speaking, that they're going to be a solo ager one day.
Maybe their spouse has physical problem where they have to take care of that person and themselves.
I think that it goes beyond solo aging to issues that everyone faces as they grow older.
After my husband died, I realized that I was a solo ager.
Being a solo ager at this point in my life it requires work.
80% of the time, it feels wonderful. 20% of the time, it's scary.
I'm beholden to nobody. That's the freedom of it. But the downside is, if, God forbid, something happens, there's nobody right there.
I'm very comfortable being with me. But as I age and I start having more physical issues, that is the part that I'm dealing with now and having to make decisions.
When I took this program, I realized, wow, there are so many others who are solo agers. It was a little bit of a comfort to me to know that I wasn't the only one.
I'm a solo ager.
I am a solo ager.
I'm a solo ager.
I'm hopeful.
I'm proactive.
I am developing.
I'm active in my life.
I am curious.
I'm happy and exploring.
Present.
Oh dear, I don't think we need to watch it again. Thank you. And now I just get to say thank you. I'm grateful for this time. I think sometimes the most meaningful part of an opportunity to be in community like this is to talk and to see if you have any questions or reflections or a story to share or something that resonates with you. So I'm happy to see you if you want to turn on your camera, or I'm happy to hear from you if you want to leave your camera off, or I'm happy to do whatever, however you feel moved. I'm happy to do it.
So feel free to join the conversation, take yourself off mute and video, and if you have any question, certainly let us know. There is some static somewhere. I'm trying to identify
Oh no.
where
Hi.
that might be.
Hi. I'm happy, I'm happy to take questions about your own experience or about our program in particular, or about anything. Who
And
has
I
a
think,
question?
Claire, we made the natural connection because we work with family caregivers often in the throes, in the crisis moments of caregiving, and that subsides. And then often left with, what's my identity now? How do I create a community when so many people may have fallen away from me, right?
Or when your community looks different than it did before. I see in the chat, is this program only in New York City? I'm so sorry if that's, if that came across it anyway. It's not, no. This program is offered nationally. We've offered it in all kinds of ways. I think we've reached people from 30 or so states so far, maybe more. So it's offered virtually, just like this, and anybody can join. It's offered, is offered in person at our offices, which are I am currently on 85th in Amsterdam. But also we've offered the program in person at anywhere where we beam in on a computer to facilitate it, or in some form like that. So no, it's not just in New York City. Susie, I see your hand.
Yeah, I can't find the raised hand.
That's okay. It
icon,
doesn't. I mean, I saw your hand the same way.
Okay, so I live with and take care of my brother, and we don't have any family, and I have no kids, and I've never been married, and he's